Is there anything you want to do for
Sorry?
Lion Vera?
Yes, please.
Is there anything you want to do before I say anything?
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good evening, my district governor, our very, very invaluable speaker, Lion leaders and fellow Lions. Today's event, my name is Lion Vera Odu, and I would be our moderator for today's event. We're very excited about the topic on ground, which has to do with building a culture of service and engaging families in nation-building efforts. You would agree with me that a family is the small unit in the society, and yet not a unit to be overlooked, because a family would typically shape the views of the members of that unit. And the way and manner those views are shaped would have a larger impact on society. And so today we've decided to have this gathering, have this session, and listen to this notable speaker who is going to be taking us through how we can go about achieving this aspiration of building a culture of service. A culture is something that becomes innate the moment we imbibe it from the grassroots. So once we have that understanding, it would help us hopefully to serve better. It would serve our communities better. It would help us to share these values that we're going to be learning from today with the people around us. And at the end of the day, as Lions, as we go out to impact on members of the society, they would be able to appreciate the value we're bringing to the table. So I am going to...
Dr. Felix Ali incoming call. Pick it up.
I am going to hand over now to the chairperson of the New Voices, District 44A3, Lion Titi Layo
Dr. Felix Ali incoming call.
So that she can give us her opening remarks just before I share a brief profile of our speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lion Vera. My district governor, Lion Folashade Shotomide, distinguished elders, our esteemed guest speaker, Mrs. Aramide Awosoya, cabinet officers in attendance, dear guests, fellow Lions and Leos. I am Lion Omotomi Titilayo Ibikunle, the district chairperson for New Voices of Lions Club International District, 4483, Nigeria. It is a great privilege to welcome you all to this important program. The New Voices initiative promotes gender parity and diversity, aiming to increase the representation of women, young adults, and underrepresented populations within our association. Today, we are fortunate to hear a powerful presentation from our guest speaker, who will be introduced shortly. I encourage you to connect the dots between women, family, association, and nation building, and to consider how you can join us in this vital mission. Thank you once again for being here. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you very much, our chairperson, for your opening remarks. So very quickly, I'm going to be sharing with us the profile of our speaker. It will be interesting to know who it is that will be engaging with us today. Mrs. Aramide Awosoya is a banking professional with over 26 years of experience across corporate and commercial banking. She was the group head corporate and commercial bank of Nova Merchants Bank up until last month when she decided to take a break, to rejuvenate and clear her head a bit before coming back at the end of the year or whenever she decides to come back from that short break to continue to serve in the banking sector. She leverages on her understanding of the dynamics of banking, well-developed sales strategies to effectively cater to the numerous clients that her bank caters to across the wholesale, corporate, retail divisions. Now, prior to joining Nova Bank in 2021, she had worked and served at various capacities as regional manager in Wema Bank, United Bank of Africa, UBA, Access Bank, and GT Bank as a middle management staff, where she spent over 10 years before she now crossed into Access Bank. Now, while she was in Access Bank, she served there as a divisional head, affluent professionals. And in fact, she started her career in 1998, which translates to 26 years, like I shared at the beginning. Aramide's commitment to distinction and excellence of output has been repeatedly acknowledged during the course of her career. Imagine when, as an entry-level staff, she already received an award as the best customer service staff. Who better than this person to take us through the culture of service, as it's very, very imminent today's time. She's result-oriented with remarkable skills in effective leadership and mentorship, quality service, executes her duties in a self-motivated manner. She's a self-starter, and her exposure in the banking industry has actually gained her diversities in different skills. She's an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, an honorary senior member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, and a fellow of the Institute of Credit Administration. Can we begin to give a digital clap for our speaker? Aramide holds a BSc in Sociology from Bayero University, Kano, and a master's degree in Business Administration from Ladoke Akintola University of Ogbomoso. She's an indigene, daughter of the soil of Lagos State, happily married with 2 adult children, and loves coaching, mentoring, and building young minds. I present to you none other than our lovely speaker for this evening, Mrs. Aramide Awosonya, to please take the floor. You're very welcome, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Lion Vera Odu. I'm really excited and thrilled to be here. Thanks for the brief introduction. I sincerely appreciate that. Before I start my session, let me appreciate our district governor, Dr. Folashade Shotimide, our district chairperson, that's Lion Omotomike Idekunle, and also Dr. Franklin. You've been awesome. You've been very supportive in bringing this to place. I thank and appreciate you. This topic is a very interesting topic, and I will appreciate if we can participate very well in it, because this topic actually involves around each and every one of us here. We all here are adults. We're parents, we're guardians, and I'm sure we have wards that we're looking after and that we're expecting so much from to bring the society to a larger one and to a better one in order to build our nation better. So our topic today is building a culture of service. And we want to look at how our families can be engaged in building a national, building efforts to to build our country, to build our nation better. Let me close this. This is actually distracting, sorry. Okay. So a brief profile has been done about me, which is I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a banking professional, I'm a fellow and an honorary senior member of CIBN. So I've been in the industry for a while. So what's the objective of this topic? Why is this so exciting and why are we so passionate about discussing this? We believe after this presentation, after this session, we should be able to understand better how families can add value to nation building, how family can build a culture that will contribute meaningfully and positively to the purpose, to the development of this our nation, to the building of this our nation. So I'll be taking us through some points that'll be across this point that I want to list. That's the concept overview. Can we all see my presentation slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Before I go on, let me appreciate the other Lion members and our guests here. We have a lot of Lion executives, Lion leaders, the members, and even our special guests. I'm sure some of my guests are also here. So you're all welcome to this session. We're not going to take your time. I'm sure within an hour or so, we should be done with this, but it's going to be a very promising and exciting one. Thank you. So we'll be talking through the overview, the concept overview. That's nation building and family engagement. What is the role of a family? What is the role of a family in this? What are the practical steps that a family can take to build a nation better? And what are the challenges that families are facing in this nation as a whole? And what are the current challenges that we think we need to look at or to address? So these are the topics that we're going to be looking at. So let's give a brief introduction to nation building. Nation building is often perceived as not as one of the government's responsibility. But to me, I don't believe it's just government's responsibility. I believe it is responsibility of all of us here and individuals, family members at large. Because nation building actually starts from your home. It starts from your house. It starts from the way you groom your wards, your children, your kids, or even people around you. So nation building is supposed to be government's role, but to me, it is our role. It is a joint effort because the joint effort involves even from the house where you're being brought up. Because what is instilled in anybody from inception, from when the person is born, is what that person will grow to be or develop to be. So engaging families in nation building is actually a concept that underscores the importance of having families in activities that contribute to the development and well-being of their nation. You get it? This approach integrates the values of service and community engagement into family life with the aim of creating a collective effort towards nation building. What do we mean here? I'm still emphasizing here that family plays a major role. Family plays a major role in building the nation. Without a family, a nation cannot stand. Without a family, there cannot be a society. It is you that makes a society. It is I that makes a society. It is government that makes a society. So it is a collective effort, starting from the family to build a home, to build a nation in a positive manner. And like the former, the first what's it called? My first person, Lion Vera, said, he said the main unit of any society is family, meaning family is the originator or the developer of a society. Without a family, there cannot be a society. It is family that makes a society, if you understand what I'm saying. Do we agree? Can I just get some top up? If you are agreeing with what I'm saying. So what is nation building? Nation building refers to the process of constructing or structuring a national identity, enhancing social cohesion, and amplifying economic and social development within a country. That is nation building. So that's what we want to talk about now. How do we build a nation that will be full of culture, that people can abide in, and that will be a result-oriented nation? So the key elements we're going to be looking at here is going to be centered around the governance, the economic and social development, and cultural integration. Who is responsible for all this? All of us will agree that it's the government, it's the communities, and businesses. Businesses as in where you sell, where you work, where you interact, where you go daily for your daily activities, for your daily business activities. But around each of these items, each of these notable points, that is government, communities, and society, and businesses, what is the fundamental of these three? The fundamental of these three still revolves around the families. It is families that makes government. It is families that makes community. It is families that makes businesses. Because anyone in government, anyone in a community, anyone in any business still evolve from a family. It is a mother and father, or a guardian, or a mentor that will build an individual that will later become a government representative, a community representative, or a business representative. So what are the roles of families in the society? I have 4 roles here. 1, families shape the values, the behavior, and the future of any society. For any society to emerge, the individual or the family must have built that person, or build those build those set of people that will make a society. So the caliber of people that are built, the mentality of people that are built, the psyche of people that are built determines the kind of society that you will have. So to build our nation, we need to build a very sensitive, reliable, dependable, and resourceful family members. In building any nation, it starts from us, all of us. How do you build your children? How do you build your nieces? How do you build your nephews? How do you build your cousins? How do you build your neighbors? How do you build your children's friends, or your friends' children, and the likes? We have an adage in Yoruba that says, "Èèyàn kan ló ń bímọ, èèyàn púpọ̀ ló ń wò." Sorry for those that are not Yorubas, but what it means is only one person that gives birth to a child, is multiple people that trains that child. I remember when we were growing up, if you do any mess on the street, any parent can call you to correct you. But the society is changing now. You can't call just any child again to correct them, unlike what we had in the past, where you could correct any child and you reform them. And that's why we're seeing a lot of differences, a lot of things in the society. But if we all still imbibe that culture of training everybody and anybody, then we'll get it right. So society starts from our home, it starts from our families, it starts from within, it starts from us. So the second point we're going to be looking at here is family is supposed to instill societal norms, ethics, and values from childhood, which still goes back to the same example I gave in my first point. We all have to train, not only our children, but everyone and anyone around us. If you see anything that needs to be corrected in any child, do not wait for the mother or the father of that child. Correct it. And tomorrow, the society will thank you. Even the parents will thank you. Then the third point here is families teach children the importance of civic duties like voting, environmental protection, community involvement. Yes, this is what family does. And we do that right from the home, starting from the mother, the father, the guardians, the neighbors. You tell them the importance of voting. Do you have to sell your vote? No. Why should you not sell your vote? Because of this and this and this. You give quality reasons why people should appreciate what voting is all about and the benefits of voting rights. If we all have this mentality and we're able to sell this mentality to people, then we'll have a better nation. Then environmental protection. How do we keep our environment safe? When you see children roaming about on the street, what do you tell them? There's limit to where you can play. Be watchful of the environment, be watchful of the cars that are coming, be watchful of kidnappers, be watchful of this. We should derive pleasure in educating everyone and everybody around us. Then our last point is a support, hold on, sorry. A support system. Yes, family is supposed to be our support system for emotional and financial support. Families are supposed to be there. Not all families will be wealthy, but whether you're wealthy or not, whether you're comfortable or not, we should be able to support ourselves. Support your family members, support everyone around you. If you have, learn to share. When you don't have, let people understand. Though in our society now, it's very difficult to tell anyone that you don't have. Most people assume that maybe because you're working in a particular place, or because you're living in a particular place, or because you're married to a particular person, they assume that automatically you're wealthy. But in as much as you're still breathing, you're still living, you're still waking up every day, one, we should be thankful, and two, we should carry everybody and let them know if they need any help, if you are not able to do the help, say it in a very positive manner and not negative. And we should always be mindful of emotions of people. Let's talk through the emotions. Let's talk through the financial support that we can talk to people, that we can give to people so that they can appreciate us. So these are basic roles of family in a society. The family is supposed to give the financial and emotional support to each and every one person, everyone that comes across them. Very important. And we should also be willing and ready at all times to coach, to mentor, and to train people, not necessarily your own dependent on your own children. Let every other person, every other child in your area, every other child that you know, every other person that you know, benefit from anything that you know. The more we enlighten people, the more we train people, the more we coach people, the better the society will be. And together we can then build a good nation. So what is the culture of service in a family? The culture of service in a family starts from selflessness and community involvement. These are the core values that we should have. We should not close our eyes to our environment. We should not close our eyes to our community. We should look in possible ways that we can help the community. Wherever you stay, wherever you live, wherever you are able to have contact with, maybe that's where you sell things or where you work. If there's any possible way to help, is it by teaching? Is it by coaching? Is it by talking positively to people? Let's endeavor to do it at all times. Because the more we reach out to people, the more we train people, the more we advise people or counsel people, the better we are going to be, and even the better we're also going to build the nation by building individuals. And there's power in talking, there's power of the tongue. The more you talk to one person, the more you're talking to hundreds of people. Because if you counsel one single person positively, and that person's psyche or mental mind is changed positively, that same person can also counsel another 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 people. So indirectly, you'll be reaching out to so many people. We're here today, I'm sure we're maybe about 30 or whatever number. If each and every one of us go out to the world with this mindset or with this counsel that we're getting or with this training that we're getting, and you also reach out to like 5 or 10 or 20 people, indirectly or directly, we're building the nation because we'll be able to change the psyche of people. You see an agbero at times that is behaving somehow, and you feel the need to talk to that person. Maybe you have the opportunity to talk to that person. You can just talk, you can just counsel. Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, why didn't you go to school? Oh, what is the issue? If there's any way, anyhow you can influence, you try to. But if you cannot influence, please talk to that person. And when that person gets home, within the person's leisure time, he can reflect back to what you told him or her. And they say, oh, I can actually be this. I can actually be this. So family is very important. Even the mates that we take, the more you counsel your mates, the better they will be. And the more relevant they will be to the nation. So it's very important that we pay attention to family, to culture of service in our family, because that is what we transform into the nation building. So we have a lot of examples here by saying that, one, we should lead by example, meaning if you want to train people, do you live by example? You must live by example, because it's not what you tell people that they will listen to, it's what you do. Like people always say, don't do as I do, but don't do as I say, but do as I do. People look at your action. The action speaks louder than voice. They look at the way you're comporting yourself. They look at the way you're carrying yourself. They look at the values that you're giving, not necessarily what you're telling them. So if you leave good example and people are able to see through professionalism or diligence or responsibility in you, then definitely they will also be good. And before you know it, the whole nation will be better, it will be well built, and everybody will be at peace. I'm sure someone was going to tell me that that's going to take a while. It's true, but gradually we can start it. So we should teach values early. What do I mean here? We should instill empathy, trustworthiness, integrity, and accountability at early stage. From the point of raising children, they could be your direct children, they could be your adopted children, they could be your guardian, they could be your mentees, anyhow. For anyone you see, right from when they're young, please teach them what is our culture. Teach them the core culture, teach them values, teach them the norms that is acceptable in any society. So that irrespective of where they go, your name and your impact in their life will be felt. And the world we have now is the world of the Gen Zs. So you can only catch these children when they're still young. If you instill discipline into them, you instill and good values and integrity into where to, because the values are there, it will form like a DNA in their body. So they'll carry it everywhere and they will live right. And if all children, all adults are behaving positively, definitely our nation will be a better environment, a better society to live in. Then also we must participate together. What do we mean by this? We should volunteer as a family, as individual, to do charity, to do local causes like neighborhood cleanup, or mentorship within the environment, counseling within an environment, teaching, free teaching, tutoring within an environment. Look at an environment that needs your support and give to them. Give to them. And anywhere you meet anybody, try to talk to them positively so they know what to do and what to expect at any point in time. So what are the practical ways families can contribute to nation building? This is very important, like we've been talking about family. Nation building is mainly about family. It's family that makes nation to be built properly and to stand on a good foundation. If family is not solid, a nation cannot be solid because the nation is made up of families. So what are the possible things that families should do to contribute to nation building? One, we should do community service. We organize and join community improvement activities like the cleanups that I said earlier, public health campaign, charity drives. In fact, I can see a lot of maybe professionals that I know, most of my banker friends, we go into this kind of charity organizations. We have some charity homes that we give things to, some that we're funding or train a child. We have those kind of initiatives. But you know, it takes a whole lot of people to do this kind of charity before it will influence positively and globally in any community. But these are possible ways to develop and grow a nation. Civic engagement. We should educate family members about civic responsibilities and participate properly during elections so we get it right. The family should also volunteer at schools, healthcare center, faith-based institutions and clubs like the one I'm doing now. We should make. I remember when I was called to come and do this session, I didn't even blink. I did not query it. I just said, oh, I'm available because I love to talk about activities. I'm always very ready to give my own tips to the table. That is why I'm here. So these are things that we should be doing from time to time to encourage the young minds, for them to be a better person and for the nation to be a good foundation. So practical ways that family can contribute again to nation building, we're still on it. Education and awareness. Like I said earlier, we can have seminars, we can have workshops like the one we're doing. We create an opportunity for family engagements. Let's try to bond well with our families. Let's try to bond well with people. I remember when my children were young, we used to have friends, we call friends around that have children. All of us will go bonding together. You understand? These are things we can do. When you're in a neighbor, when you have friends, you have children, a lot of them, maybe you want a quarter or want half yearly, you can just call everybody, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 families. Let's go and bond. The more you're bonding, the more they're enjoying themselves, the more you're also talking and counseling them. It's only an opportunity to instill discipline, to instill values and cultures into those children right from when they're young so they can grow with it. So we want to encourage family projects and the likes. We volunteer to do service challenges, create challenges and competition that can encourage families. Like when some kids are growing up, you can give them tasks. What can you do? What is your own skill? What is your own competence? Discover each child's area of competence and try to groom them across that line so that they can go to the better person in life. Not all children will be medical doctors.
Please stay on. Looks like our facilitator is having a bit of a technical challenge. I'm sure she'll be back on shortly.
Thank you,
Okay,
Lambert.
Thank you, Lambert. Franklin, I am trying to fill the attendance form, and then I realized there's a place that is, you have to put your club or so. I think we have some guests here, and if it is a required, then it means the form won't be, they won't be able to fill the form. Kindly check, please.
They should put no club. It should take it. They should put no club.
Okay.
Yeah, they should just put guests so that we know that they're
Yes,
guests. It becomes
put
easier
guests.
to follow up with them. Thank you, my DG.
Thank you. What happened to this thing? Just
Our chairperson, Titi, please mute your mic and try to give her a call so that we know what challenge she's having. Thank you. Vera, I think you can engage yourself. She said some things while we wait for her.
Yes, please.
Yes, I think you can engage us. Yeah.
Okay, so far so good. I hope we've been getting some nuggets from what the facilitator has shared so far. She has talked about how we should start early in beginning to groom children, in beginning to groom the society by catching them young. She has talked about fostering bonding, sharing information. As a matter of fact, from what she said, I realized that as Lions, we actually have an opportunity to keep drumming this every time we go out to serve. Whether we are going to carry out an act of service of, like maybe we have a medical outreach, something as little as sharing with those people in 5 minutes how they should comport themselves, keep up cleanliness, would be us giving them the opportunity to learn new things. So for every time that we go out to carry out any service activity, please let's always remember to address the community that we're going to be engaging with, because it would help. Since it's all about values and shaping the views of people, you will be shocked that a lot of things that we take for granted, that we think people would be aware of, a lot of people may not be aware of, because we all come from different backgrounds. So let's make it a habit, starting from where we are. If you look at the topic critically, we would see that the onus is on us. we can actually start from where we are. We complain about the government, we complain about the leaders, we complain. But the question is, in your little corner, in my little corner, how are we comporting ourselves? How are we engaging with people? How transparent are we when we do, when we carry out certain tasks, whether it's for organizations or for the club or for our businesses? Are we being straightforward? Are we inflating figures and then abusing only the president and the governors and all that?
Lion Vera,
Yes, please.
she's back.
Oh, great.
She was timed out. She's back.
Oh, our facilitator. Thank you. Nice to have you back. We're just holding forth before your return. You have the floor, please.
Oh. Hello? What happened again?
The network might be really 50 where she is.
Said it has to do with timing, that she was timed out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so is she logging back on?
She did. I saw her in now, but I don't know what's going on. Let me call her again.
So can we
She's
get
out.
some suggestions in the chat room? Nobody is custodian of knowledge, of all the knowledge. So you can begin to share in the chat room some suggestions that we can begin to imbibe. How can we succeed in nation building? Let's share some suggestions in the chat room. It would be nice to read from us. And by the time the facilitator is done, we'll be able to read out some of those suggestions.
Lion Franklin. Hello, Lion Franklin.
Yes, please.
Please, you need to look into this. She said she's timed out.
Okay, let me check.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to hear a few voices. Lion, I'm going to be calling names randomly. Is she back?
No.
Okay. Lion Kayode. I choose to believe you're a lion. If you're not, you've been Christian one today.
She's back.
Lion
She's back.
Kayode or Lifa? Sorry?
Hello.
Well,
I
I'm interested in the session. That was why I joined.
Hello, sorry. I don't know what happened. The laptop just turned itself. So I'm joining my phone now. But can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome back.
Yes, we can hear you.
Padmi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear us?
We can hear you, ma.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
But I would like to. Okay, if you can
you hear
me,
us?
just give me to come back my laptop so I can share.
Okay, we can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear. If someone can help me chat, I'm driving, so I can't chat to let her know we can hear her.
Hello. Hello?
Hello, Aramide, we are here. We can hear you well.
I can't even
We can hear
That's
you.
the issue.
Chairperson,
You
I
can
think you
hear
should
me, but I
send her
can't
a chat.
hear you. So just give me a
Send
few
her a
minutes
chat
to
to let her
connect
know
back
we
with my
can.
laptop.
She said we should give her a few minutes to connect to our laptop. Meanwhile, we can be.
Okay. I think I saw a suggestion from someone. Brilliant. Someone
Just
commented.
give me a few minutes. It's back.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No. I'm asking the
Okay, yes, I
facilitator.
We can hear you.
hear you now.
Excellent. All right. So you have the floor.
Okay, but you might not be able to see my slide because I'm using my phone now.
So
Okay.
it's okay.
go
Go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Okay then. Moreover, I'm even almost done with it. So looking at the challenges. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, I think I'm back on the laptop. I'm back here now, yes.
Recording in progress.
Let me miss it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so
Yes, we can do continue, please.
okay, thank you.
Great. Screen share.
Okay, so
Screen sharing is on now.
okay, thank you. So what are the long-standing impact of service-oriented culture? For us to have a long-standing oriented culture, good now. Okay, so the long-standing impact of having a service-oriented culture is really two. One, to develop future leaders, and two, of any family, of any nation. So in doing this, what are we trying to do? What are we talking about? What are we referring to? I'm saying that families must foster a culture of responsible, empathetic, reliable members, starting from the parents, to the family members, to the children, to the nieces, to the nephews, to the cousins, to even the grandparents and the grandchildren. Because these are future leaders. So the way you want them to be in future is the way you start to build them from inception. I remember one of my uncle was telling me that he loved to take his children out for picnics because he remembered that when he was growing up, his father used to take them out for picnic. That was a routine. So the more we do this, the more we're also building. What we instill in our children today, or in anyone around us today, is what they will become in future. So we should learn to give good examples, give them good leadership skills and capacities that will build them to be better people, which will eventually transform to better nation building. Because they are the nation, we are the nation. What we build in ourselves is what will become of the nation. Then sustainable development. The family will indirectly give us a service-oriented family that will ensure building effort and sustainable capacities across generations. Like I made reference of an uncle of mine. What you build today will be a transgeneration skills and capacities within the family and within the country eventually that will transform to better nation development. So a challenge to families is to commit to at least one community building activity per year. As a family, what do you intend to do to your nation? What do you intend to do, starting from your community? What impact do you want to give? What do you want to be known for? How do you impact in your community? Not all what's it called, activities involves money. Like I said earlier, some can be coaching, some can be counseling, some can be mentoring. It could be mentorship. It could be counseling. So there are various ways you can develop individuals within your community that will transform to nation building. Because the more communities you will develop, the more we're improving on our nation building. So I have some of these suggestions that I've put across that we should organize like a neighborhood cleanup. We say this neighborhood cleanup is just cleaning, but then it comes with a lot of activities and mental development. Because the more people you see at that gathering, the more you're able to talk and impact their lives. And what you say to them is what they will go back home with. So it will not be necessarily the cleaning up that they're doing, but what the value they got from that exercise that they're taking back home to live with. We should develop in community health campaigns. I know Lions Club does a lot of all these stuffs, and that's part of the reason we also have this kind of session. So it's an avenue to reach out to people, to reach out to communities, in order to build nation better. Then we should volunteer at schools and community centers. This is a session we're having here for leaders. It could be a session for schools. If you have a school, we can do this kind of coaching to them. So we get it right from reception, we get it from the young minds. And when they key into this positive mindset, then they will grow positively and become valuable to the nation, thereby building our nation positively. With this, I think you all agree with me that nation building is a grand gesture. It actually begins from our homes and with everyday act of service. So the society is ours and we are the society. To build a nation positively, we must build ourselves and our environment and our families positively, because it starts from within. It starts from our family. And you go to bus stops and it's touts. How did they become touts? Who gave birth to them? They were born by human beings. How were they trained? If they were trained positively, then they will not be on the street. They will not be touts. So for a nation to be well built, it starts from us. It starts from you. It starts from me. It starts from all of us. We are key partakers in nation building. And I pray God will help us to build our nation positively. Thank you.
Thank you, Lion. Thank you, Mrs. Awosoya. We appreciate.
For listening to. I'm sorry for the break in transmission.
Just say.
No problem.
Questions, comments?
I sleep in take.
Now, Linda, please. Now, Vera, now Vera do.
She's
Hello?
left.
She's left?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I leave it.
Okay, so one question and answer. Now, Titi, you can take it up from there till she comes back. Do you want us to write our questions in the chat room, or we are to ask our questions direct or make our contributions direct?
You can write or you can speak out. Let's have an engaging session. Let it be an engaging session. You can have people scout. Ask your questions so I can raise them. Let it be an interactive session. It doesn't be about Aramide. So let's have the I can see someone's hand up.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me, ma?
Good evening, Miriam. Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma. I just wanted to say a big thank you for the insights you shared. And one of the ways my organization says thank you to speakers would be to just share our key takeaway. And my key takeaway from everything you've said, I took a lot of notes, but what really stood out for me was when you talk about participating and not just assuming that the government will do everything. For example, taking time as a family to contribute to the community, even if it's just one project we're doing, and it doesn't have to be spending a lot of money. It could be utilizing your skill sets to build the community. And I also took quotes from what you said earlier. You said that don't just talk, act, and leave a good example. So I just wanted to say a big thank you, Ma, for the inspiring presentation.
You're muted, Miriam.
Did you hear everything I said?
Yes, we got you. Thank you, darling.
Okay. I'm done. Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
other comments or question?
Yes, my name is Dr. Folashade Shotomide. I want to say thank you also for that insightful presentation. And I just want to add also that this is what we do in Lions Club. We are volunteers, we serve our community. But what you have brought to us today is to encourage us to serve with our families. We are looking at going into the service activities that we render with our families and not just going alone, thereby encouraging these children to pick up the act of serving at a very young age. We're looking out for families who can come together and say, yes, we want to serve the community where we are, whether you are in an estate where you already have your own building and then your environment, of course, the buildings are yours, the properties are yours, and looking after the property or looking out for the improvement of your environment becomes your concern. And then you form about a group of families, husband and wives, and then you come together. Each time you want to carry out these activities, you take your children along, and they also participate in giving out to the less privileged around you. And we believe that with this that you have shared with us, if you carry out such an act, it's going to go a long way in helping our society to be a better place, irrespective of what anyone might be thinking of. It's just that the fact that we are all together makes it work harder. And you discover that the children also, when they grow up, they will tell the story. This is how my dad, this is how my mom, this is how we were brought up. It won't be difficult for them to help the other person beside them, and everybody can be at least fairly comfortable. So thank you very much for exposing us into this world of serving with our families to make our nation a better place. I would really like to hear from those that are not Lions. You are not a member of Lions Club, you have participated in this. I would like to hear from you also. What have you learned? What are you looking at? What will you consider as your next step, even after hearing this? Our facilitator has said we should not just listen, but we should act. What is your next, what have you learned? What do you think you'll be doing even from this day onwards? So we'd like to hear from you also.
I think I can see two people hands up. There are
Okay.
and then Kayode Olaifa. There are two people's hands raised up.
So now, okay, Kayode Olaifa, you have the floor then.
Thank you very much. I want to first appreciate Mrs. Awosoya for the brilliant presentation. And I think the lecture at this time is very, very germane, looking at the impact of family in the society and what our society has become of as of today. We will all agree with me that our society as it were today is not the society where many of us grew up.
Exactly.
A lot of things are happening in our society today that is becoming like a norm. I'll mention the issue of Yahoo, quick rich syndrome in our society today. I will mention the issue of transgender in our society today. I will mention the issue of LGBTQ in our society today. All these things are already gaining prominence. And what I feel has caused all this is our exposure to civilization, modernization, and westernization. As much as all these things have its own good parts, how can we balance our exposure to all this as well as developing a very, very viral society that can contribute to nation building? That's number one. Number two, families too, at different levels, has broken down in a way. This boils to the fact that most parents or families nowadays are chasing wealth, working so hard to bring food to the table for the children. In view of this, many parents, unlike those days, don't have the desired time or the required time to take care of the children like we were brought up by our parents. Those days, most of our mothers don't work. Even if they work, they do maybe little menial jobs. They go out maybe around 9 in the morning, come back by 2 to take care of the home, take care of the home front, take care of the children, and take care of the family. But if you look at it today, all those things have gone. Father goes to work in the morning, come back at night, mother, same thing. We leave the children to cater for themselves. All these things are having a far-reaching implication on our children. How do we balance it? Thank you.
Mrs. Aramide, that question is for you. Unmute, please. Unmute your mic.
Okay, thank you, Lion Kayode Olaifa. The question to put here. One is, let me pick the question, which I'm going to treat as the first one. You said families these days are chasing wealth. So as a result of that, we don't have time for the children. Get you right?
Yes.
But let me now say something. I said it in the course of my presentation that in the past, when we were growing up, Mr. Olaifa, that it was not just our parents that were training us when we were growing up. We had neighbors that would scold you if you behave. If you wear clothes that is not cultured or that is proper, you see a neighbor, an elderly woman, an elderly man will call you to shape. But these days, because of civilization, a lot of people just mind their business. They don't interfere in other children's behavior anymore. So like I said earlier, these are things that we need to go back to. In as much as your children, you should need other children that come your way. And part of the reason it comes is fine, we don't want to get money, make money to train our children, which is which is basic. Because without money, you can't pay school fees. You can't even feed them. So in order to balance this up, that is why I introduced what is called bonding. Is talking true. I speak with my children every day. Every day. If you're not talking to them, you can't get anything from them. I mean, if you're talking to your children, you're not talking to your children. The society. Because what you tell your children is always. So if you do well, you talk to them, can't set them up. And I do the same. If we can everyone do it, collectively, nation will be better. who will have built a better nation. What we do is for everyone else to play our own role. Guide your own house, guide your neighbors properly, guide your children well, guide your neighbors' children well. If you see them in the street, please on them. If you have 1 or 2 minutes to talk to them, counsel them, advise them. Whatever you say to them, how you have in society is what they'll be going home with, is what they'll be living their life with. And they are coming back in the night. That is normal, that is basic. They must make ends meet and must generate money to feed the family. But how do you balance it? It's a matter of commitment. Communication. No matter how busy a mother or father is, go to your children's school once in a while. Ask what the issues are. Ask how they're faring. Ask how they're doing. Advise where necessary, and also take advice from the school where necessary. Then coming back home, if you get any positive or negative comments, don't take it negative. Bring it back home to address. Address it in school. Also come back home to do proper counseling and mentorship and tutoring. Because if you make money without training the children, you will lose everything that you have made. When you make money and you also train your children, then you build a good family, you also build a good nation. So the fact that we're working does not mean we should not have time for our children. My own mother, my own foster mother was what? She was a professional. She goes to work, but she was still able to train us. So we must also go to work and also train our children to train our environments, if necessary, or where necessary. Then the first point you said was, how can we improve the society with our own action? It's by example, lead by example. Lead by example. If you make your environment neat, the environment will be neat. If you make the children in your environment, your neighbors, to be good, then you'll be safe. But where a lot of children are wearing nasty things before you know it, this kind of the environment is polluted. And once the environment is polluted, every individual, every adult will be polluted. So we must. I remember when I first got the 12 years, I just got back and I saw the environment where I was living. And I told my husband, I don't think I can train my children in this environment. Because of what? Because I saw some guys that were drinking beer. They sat on the chair and they were drinking beer, and I was like, wow, I cannot train my children in this environment. Let us change. And we did. So we must be mindful of the environment. Because the environment where you train your children determines how the children will be, even if you lock them in the house 24/7. What they see in the environment is very necessary. Tell the children what they see is the way it guides their psyche and their mental development.
Thank you.
So we must be so conscious of that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did I meet your point?
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So can we have a more?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can. Good evening.
Good evening. First off, I want to say a big thank you to Madam Aramide, who happens to be one of my career coaches, for rendering an excellent and insightful session this evening, and also to say a big thank you to the organizers of this program. This is like my very first time to be amongst the Lions, so I'm glad to be here today. So thank you for the opportunity. I would say thank you, Saramide, for hitting the nail on the head about family, having to build nation building through the family system. I know elementary science, then social science would say family is the unit of the society, right? Everything starts and ends in the family. So my contribution to today's discourse is that I think, and I also speak to what the person that I think Mr. Kayode also talked about, values, the fact that a lot of parents are, trying to make ends meet, no thanks to the economic conditions of our country. And then their children are being neglected. But I think if we circle back to articulating our values as family, apologies for those who are not Christians, but at least the Bible says we should train up a child the way he should go. Some of us had this training from, infancy to teenagehood to adulthood. And there's some things that our parents instill in us that are still like guide for us. So I think each family should have its core values. So most of us are professionals on the call. Organizations have core values, which is part of the culture, which is what drive behavior, which is what inform decisions, which is what guide people when they join the organization. You have to abide by the culture of the organization. That is what the owners of the company have seen, that this is how we want to run. We want to be big on respect, integrity, fairness, passion, excellence, what have you, right? So I think it's about time that what we have in organizations is replicated in homes. Each family member should, or each family unit should articulate values. What is our family value? It could be an acronym like we have in some organizations. And then conversations around those values. And then what Madam Aramide said about living something. So if one of your family values is maybe giving back to the society or something, you could plan maybe quarterly, depending on how you can, to say you want to do like a CSR or a team bonding or community thing that you are giving back to the society. You're teaching your kids the importance of helping, empathy, whatever it is. I think it's about time we articulate values as families and live it, breathe it. Just like culture of organization, culture is breathable. It is what management allows. So values would be what you as the parent or the adult in the family allow. So I think we should have values as family. We can, just like vision board, we can have it pasted somewhere in the house where everybody sees it, and then it is livable, it is talkable, and then all these actions, amongst other things, we just help to, drive the discourse forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omoye.
The question is for you, Aramide.
No, this is not a question, that's a contribution.
I know she
It's
should
not a
respond to me.
question.
Okay, sorry, you have to respond. You have answered that. So because of time, please let us say whatever we want to say so that we can all go to bed. Some people are complaining about time. They've been sending me some messages.
Okay.
They are very grateful.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Thank you.
I really love what you did this night. Thank you very much. My DG, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Antiti Layo Ibikunle. We appreciate your putting this together. Thank you for bringing to us a fantastic facilitator. Yes, we've all been calling you Lion Aramide, so which means that Mrs. Aramide, also you need to start thinking to join us. For our guests here, for those that are not Lions, Lions Club. Okay, Lions Club is a club or a people. We are just individuals who volunteers our time and resources to help the less privileged. And when we look at our society, we realize that, okay, the older ones that are doing it and leaving their children out of it are actually not doing the nation any good, because you just give and then your children that you have given birth to, that you are leaving behind, do not even have any idea of what you are doing or did not learn the act of also volunteering. And that's one of the things that has formed the topic that we had looked at today. So as many that are non-Lions and the Lions who have been serving just yourself alone, going for your service activities, we have 8 global courses, and when you are going to feed the hungry, you go all alone, leaving your children at home, you leave your husband at home, and then just go all by yourself to come and tell the stories. I want to encourage us that we should go with our families, let them experience the joy that we experience when we meet the needs of people around us. We want to encourage as many that are not lions yet. Think of it, that you have a family and then you are going out. One of the activities you do on a monthly basis or bi-monthly or quarterly basis is to go together as a family and go and render service to somebody. And this platform, the best platform for you to use in doing this is the Lions Club. Lions Club affords you the opportunity to be a member, and the benefits that you get from it is just one of the ones that you have gotten tonight. Having to hear the speaker of the day, the fine thoughts that they bring, and then you realize that you have a lot in caring for the blind, the underprivileged. They are all around us. Lions Club will give you a platform. You'll find Lions Club in over 206 countries and geopolitical zones. We have 8 global courses. We do hunger relief. We do sight. We work on diabetes. We are concerned about childhood cancer. Our environment is very, very important to us. Humanitarian is something that we look at. The youth is one of the key areas that we also look at. So wouldn't you rather join an organization that will give you a platform to express yourself? What you alone will have spent millions doing. You can actually have about 20 of you sharing and then meeting a larger number of people, okay, meeting their needs and getting blessed in return for it. So I invite everyone who is not a lion to follow us, go online. You can actually Google it. We have quite a lot, over how many hundred, almost 900, almost 10,000 clubs in Nigeria as a whole, as in members in Nigeria. So you can join us, be part of us, and let us serve humanity together. Mrs. Aramide Awosonya, I'm saying thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you. When I saw your face initially before that, I was so sure that this is beauty and brain combined, and you did not disappoint me nor the listener today. Thank you for bringing it up on board. We're inviting you to join us. We have a token. Now, frankly, I hope you are ready. We actually have an appreciation to present to you. The physical one will be delivered onto you by our chairperson, to say thank you so much for the time taken and for the little. I'm sure you were just given this information under a month and you put together such a fantastic presentation. We appreciate you. We surely will call you back and want you to know you are the one of those that we're expecting and we're waiting for to come and join Lions Club and make our society a better place to be. So we will still follow up with you. And I know all you need to do is just bring about, put together another 9 of your friends, 9 families. Let's come together and decide on the next achievements that we are going to have. Let that be another thing added to all that you have achieved or acquired in life. That yes, you are a lion, and will be. That name suits the Lion Aramide. It will suit you. So we just put it in there and then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for all that you have done tonight. Our guests, we appreciate you so much too. I was expecting that Lan Franklin is going to be doing some sharing. Lan Franklin, are you there? Just 1 minute. Lan Franklin, please.
My DJ, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Can you please present the certificates of appreciation? So Lion Aramide, yes, the soft copy. I'm sure you have it with you, right? Can you share it so that we can all applaud and appreciate her? And I will appreciate all participants to give her a beautiful emoji, even as we do that now. I'm not saying the emoji should be flying in by now. blowing out kisses. I'm seeing some kisses are going. Please, you can, yes, thank you. Yes, I'm seeing it. Let it keep flowing. There's no better way to appreciate someone that's dished out something fantastic to every one of us tonight. Let us appreciate her. Let's blow out some kisses. Let's show her some love. Let's begin to throw it out. Yes, I'm saying somebody is even laughing. Lots of love and hugs. Yes, coming your way. This is nice. Thank you so much, great life.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I want to see if I can get it out. I've not gotten from Lion Franklin. Now, Franklin, we are waiting for you. We're actually waiting for you. Thank you so much. Please, if you have not filled the form, the attendance form is in the chat room. Please kindly fill it. So that we can also send you the appreciation for attending this webinar today. And please look out for more. Lion Titi said there's going to be more like this. Please look out for more like this where we share and rub minds together.
Definitely, ma.
Thank you. Now, Franklin, any luck? Okay, so we don't keep everyone waiting for too long. Let me just say thank you. I guess we have to be sent to our facilitator for tonight, because I've not seen it displayed, and I don't want to keep her waiting.
Please check your WhatsApp message. The certificate is there.
Yes, it is. I'm trying to.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to share it from my phone because I'm not on my desk.
Okay, please let us see. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That person, please share the attendance form again so that those who haven't filled can do that.
Okay. Okay, I will. Thank you. Lion Vera, where have you been?
I had a technical hitch while I was driving. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my DG, for your lovely closing remarks. Thank you, our facilitator. That was a very, very impactful presentation. Thank you, my great Lion leaders and fellow Lions, for being such a wonderful audience. There's no gainsaying that we've learned a lot, and we're going to go implement all that we've learned. It's important that we start from our homes to begin to apply all that we have learned. If we get it right at the family unit, then we are going to be certain of having a better Nigeria. However long it takes, success is sure. Thank you very much. And for all our guests who joined us, it was so good to have you on board. Lion Omoye, I got reconnected while you were sharing your contribution. That was a very, very insightful one as well. So we look forward to having you all join us. Yeah.
Does it mean I'm now a lion?
Service to humanity. We're converting you already.
Okay.
We're converting you already. Brilliant. So we have our certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Aramide Awosanya. This is just a token to show you how much we appreciate your time and talent that you have just shared with us tonight. We look forward to yet another brilliant time together. And most importantly, we look forward to serving together as Lions. Yes. Lion Aramide Awosanya. That sounded so good. Thank you, everyone. It's been a lovely evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for taking the time here, and thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate each and every one of your contribution. It's a great, I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking your time to hear. Omoye, for your insightful contribution, Liam. Thank you. I really appreciate you, dear. Thanks, Lion Titilayo and Governor, everyone who made this. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to joining. I'm Aramide Awosanya.
Yeah. Thank
I
you
look forward
so
to it.
so
No
much.
problem.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So all the best. Have a good evening and have a
And
good
you
night.
have a wonderful night.
Thank
rest.
you.
I hope you
Bye.
like. I hope Lion Aramide. I hope you like your certificate.
Good night, everyone. Have a good evening.
Yeah,
Good
good night.
evening.
And God
Thank
bless
you.
you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Lion Omoye, I'm connecting with you in camera.
Please. My DJs are
Thank you.
captured in the form.
Exactly. And Lion Aramide.
No problem. I'm here for you.
How
Thank
about
you.
Lifa? Kayode Lifa is there too.
Oh,
Please,
yes,
Kayode.
Lion Alifa. We
Lion
also
Alifa.
entertain diasporans. So